In fact, there are some countries now, incidentally, like Europe, their population is going to continue going down. Because
and they're trying to fight that too.
Yes, because
So
like I said, population is not...
Where do we find the balance?
No, the balance lies with individuals, actually. Now, I know what I earn, so I know the number of children I should have. I don't expect somebody who's not earning so well to decide to have a lot of children. The children have rights too. You need to take good care of them. So I believe every couple should decide the number of children they can conveniently have without stressing themselves, having enough to reinvest so that, the economy can improve.
Can sustain them. Okay, Bimbola, he's talked about our land mass. He's talked about the fact that Nigeria has a growth rate of about 5.5. That means the average woman...
That's
fertility rate, rather. Yeah. That means the average woman will be having about 5 to 6 children. What should we do if you put the two side by side going forward?
Well, what I also believe we should also do is, the woman is very important in all this picture. Because, like I said, she's the vessel most of the time. Because she's the one that gets pregnant, she's the one that goes to delivery, she's the one that nurtures the baby from infant until at least when the baby is able to be on his own. So we need now to concentrate more on women. Women should be more educated, even including sexuality education that Doctor mentioned. Women should be able to make choices. They should be able to know whether they want to have a child or they don't want to have a child. They should be able to have better earning levels. We should empower the Nigerian woman so that she can look after her child, so that she's exposed, and then she should also be able to have access to even information or medicines or whatever that would stop some illnesses that affect reproductive health of women, including breast cancers and cervical cancer. She should be educated on the fact that if you put to bed too early in life, it could lead to a lot of complications health-wise. She knows that these things are so linked. The reproductive health in a woman has been said to be a human right. It's your right as a woman to decide whether you even want to have a child or not, to know whether you are medically fit to do it, to know whether you are economically capable. All this is women must be able to understand them. We need to educate our women so that they understand whether, look, I can only cope with one, my health, my empowerment, and so women should be given equal opportunities to improve themselves in the society so that they too can, and then they should also have health, they should have access to greater health. I know that right now we have what we call the, I'm trying to remember the name now, in the rural areas, healthcare is improving. So women are kind of understanding, but they need more to do in the rural areas. We need to educate the rural women more on why it is good for them to have just a few children or a limited number of children that they can look after for health reasons, for empowerment. This would also reduce poverty in the country. It also helps sustainable development, because when women are healthy, the children would be healthy because you can look after your child. And then when a woman is empowered also, it helps sustainable development in the country. I think the government should concentrate on women empowerment via education, via medical, in so many other ways. It's very important. This will help in managing the population, even though the fertility rate is still high now. If I know that I can only take care of a child, not necessarily because of what I earn, but even because of my health as a woman, since I'm carrying the pregnancy, I will just stay on one. Do you know what I mean? So it's very, very important that the government looks into the issue of women.
Should there be laws restricting the number of children women have?
You know,
like they did in China, would that help?
You know, it's a personal decision. I don't think there should be a law restricting number of children you can have. But I think if I'm properly educated on the implications, health-wise, financial-wise, emotionally, and in a lot of things come in when you're bringing up a child or when you're pregnant. There's emotional, there is finance, there is health, there's so many things. And don't forget again, it's unfortunate that we're in a country where the woman is slightly still seen as below the man. So you also have women being abused by their husbands even when they are pregnant. All these are part of education to tell a woman, look, if this man abuses you, please do this. Seek for counseling. There are things you can do. Because when a woman is unhappy during pregnancy, it affects even the child after the child is being born. All these things affect the population of the country and they affect the development of that country.
Now, when we talk economy, people say, yes, Nigeria has the population. And so, shouldn't we look also at the area where we see our population as in a positive light? Yes, China has has over 1.3 billion people, and I think they're still getting by. Shouldn't we look at empowering the youth? You spoke about that earlier, and making sure that this our population is indeed a blessing and not a curse.
I absolutely agree with you. I did say that population could be a blessing and not a curse. It depends on the use. And thank God we have strength on our side because our youth population is higher. We just mentioned Europe now. They are having more older people. So they too have a problem because they could go into extinction, you know what I mean. But we could be much more vibrant because of the strength we have. We only need to concentrate on empowering our youth and making sure our women are very healthy and they too can contribute their quota to economic development.
Dr. Moshe, in winding down, what advice would you give to Nigeria and the government?
Well, I believe that we should create awareness about choices that are available to couples, to decide how many children they want to have. There's what we call healthy timing and spacing of pregnancies. We have contraceptives, that can be used, and they are in various types, so that every couple actually has choices that, they can make from. And unfortunately, there are a lot of couples out there who either are not aware of this or are not able to access, these services. So I believe we should be able to create awareness, amongst couples in Nigeria. Secondly, we cannot run away from the fact that we need to invest in the youths. Like I said, if you look at the youthful population of Nigeria, and we decide, look, let's turn this into a blessing and not a curse, then we must be able to take advantage. And the window period is just between 20 and 30 years for us to reap that demographic dividend. And there are about maybe 4 or 5 things that we need to do. First of all, we have to invest in their education, train them to be skillful workers, train them to be entrepreneurs, train them to be industrialists. Secondly, we have to invest in their health. Make sure that we take care of their health and they believe that they can survive, so that when it comes to deciding the number of children they want to have, they decide based on, realities, not the way that we used to think in the past. And we believe that when fertility comes down, the spending power also increases. Thirdly, we should also have sound economic policies. If the government is not thinking about creating opportunities for these youths, then, we're not going to take advantage of this. Secondly, we need to give them a secure environment in which to grow. If we can do this, I believe that even if the population continues to increase, it will slow down, and eventually we will reap from the youthful population that we have in Nigeria now.
All right, thank you very much. We've been speaking with Dr. Omolasho Moshein, Head, Lagos Liaison Office, United Nations Population Fund. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Bimbola Salu Hundein, Honorable Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission in Lagos, and a legal practitioner. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I know you're about to go off, but I'd like to say this. I agree with Doctor and everything, but I believe that having the 2016 census, oh my God, you're gonna. I believe that having the 2016 census would help Nigeria achieve all the goals he has mentioned, because that's when we can have a proper demographic data on who the youths are, the exact number of youths, women, and all the demographic indices will be able to assist the government in arriving at these goals and executing them. So it is important that we have this 2016 census, which will be biometric. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Saluhun Dane. Thank you for speaking with us. Sunrise will take a moment and we'll be back. Don't go away.